back anytime.
Your error. Sorry, he called me.
No, that's fine. I thought it made you mad or pissed you off or something. I was like, oh,
No,
well, maybe I'll wait. I don't know what's going on.
no, if you ever make me mad, I'll tell you, hey, Sean, that was a little out of line. Usually,
No,
I don't get pissy and bitchy about shit. Everybody has their opinion, and there's just no need to get.
well, the thing about it is this is what we kind of discussed with the counselor, okay? And everyone in my family had this issue. I kind of understood it. Okay, everyone kind of has their own priorities, all right, and we always focus on what is priority to us. We always second priority everyone else or everything else. It doesn't matter what it is. All right, it's what we call self prioritization, right?
Right.
Okay, so what I was explained was, you know, hence it doesn't matter if you're a kid, adult, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're elderly. It doesn't matter what your age, what you do, what it is. Hence, an animal does it. You can find it in anything. Okay, the thing about it is most people when they prioritize, how we say, someone else, is when it becomes an issue. You get what I mean?
Right.
That's the whole thing, is when someone wants to self prioritize themselves over someone else. So it's the point of what's the best way to describe it? Okay, let's say for example you want to do something, right? It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care. Just it doesn't matter, right? Okay, let's just say going out for the day or doing whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, for example, like my counselor used to tell me, it's kind of like Sean when his friends come over and saying, "Hey, would you want to come out and play?" and him going, "No, I'm doing what I want to do." It's not that he doesn't want to do anything with those individuals or that he doesn't want to do anything with his friends. It's just whatever he's doing satisfies him for the moment. No more different than either
Correct.
they're bored and they want to come over and visit their friend, irregardless of what he's doing. Okay, or it turns into one of those, he's bored as well, he's going to go out and do whatever, or he's not. Like my mom says,
Okay. However,
hold on, like the
the
counselor said, you just can't tell him to go outside just because you don't like what he's doing.
and I understand that. And that's not like if I say, "Hey, do you want to go do something?" That's not what I'm talking about when I say this.
But that's
I'm
how
talking
it's,
about, like, for example, tonight.
yeah.
We are supposed to be playing pool at 7 p.m.
Uh-huh.
We have to eat before we go because the last time we ate there, we all got food poisoning. So
Okay, fair enough.
that means that we have to have, there has to be travel time. There has to be. So David gets off work at 5 o'clock. I got off at 4:30. I did stop at a parking lot to fix my phone, but that was what, all of 2 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm headed to go pick him up. He
Yes.
needs to get off work at 5, get his shower, walk the dog, and be ready to go when I get there so that we can roll to. And he says he will do that because
Uh-huh.
he has made the commitment to be there at 7. Just like
Yes.
I made the commitment to be
Uh-huh.
there at 7.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
But he'll get
Continue.
off work at 5 and he will log onto that computer.
Mm-hmm.
And then time will get away from him. I'll show up. He'll skip his shower. He'll walk the dog real quick because his mom will kill him if he doesn't. But
Mm-hmm.
not because it's a sense of. But he does this to Ethan. And that part bothers me too.
Yes.
Where he'll tell Ethan, we're going to do this at this time. Well, that time has come and gone. And he's still on the computer. And I'm literally, you've heard me in
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, I have.
Honey, it's 8 o'clock. Are you going to tell your son to get a shower? Honey, it's 8 o'clock. Are you going to feed your child?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I know.
those things kind of have to be a priority, or they should be a priority. Like making sure your child is taken care of isn't
'Cause-
prioritize somebody, wanting to hang out. It's
Yes.
not a, it's a different thing. And that's where it does, I start to feel like he needs a mom to push the buttons constantly of,
Don't do that.
you know
I warn you now. Don't do that.
I don't want to do that. I hated doing that. My ex-husband or my
It will drive
ex-boyfriend
you,
wanted a
yeah,
mom, and
yeah, it will
it
drive you
drove me
nuts.
batshit crazy.
Yeah, it will drive you
But
nuts.
I feel like that's the territory we're
No,
entering
no, stop.
into.
No, I'll tell you this. Stop. Stop. That's all you got to do. That's what you don't understand. About sometimes, this is what I try to tell even most of my exes and stuff like that, because it's like, okay, I understand what even my mom gets that way. I understand what her thought process is. I understand what most people's are, because it's the automatic reaction most people go to. Okay, because it's the automatic reaction everyone seems to go to. Why, I don't know, but it seems to be. Okay, what I've learned from watching everybody else's experience, okay, is you don't do that. Okay, the reason why you don't do that is because, for example, okay, if I were to come to you and I were to tell you I don't like the way you're stating something to anyone, right? Especially
Mhm.
for example, David or your kids or even his kid. Okay, I am not there. I have my opinion. I don't find most things right and stuff like that, especially the way people put them. Okay, and particularly the way they talk to one another. All right, because the explanation can be that of a parent or something else like that, but not of someone, for example, Ethan's age, who is 9 years old, who is supposed to be a growing adult, who wants to say he wants to be treated and respected and everything else like an adult, but then he can't be talked to like one. That's the whole thing. Is you can't be talked to like one, you're not going to be. If that is what you want, then this is what you get. Right?
Right.
Because no adult walks around to another adult and talks to them uh, like it's a Barney bag. Okay, you're not going to pull out, the imagination and infuse strings just to make someone feel better about themselves or just to make them feel good about themselves from whatever the fuck they did, right or wrong, yes?
Right.
You won't do it. Okay. Because one, it doesn't teach anything, and two, all it's going to do is endorse the behavior. We all know this because, hello, if you've had any kind of parents with any kind of justification, morality, or common sense, that's what they teach you. Okay? So, the thing about it is same thing I've been explaining to TDD, considering, he has, a little baby girl and everything else like that, who is trying to learn and walk. Okay? Well, the same thing like I explained to him is, okay, well, how'd you learn how to walk? Well, you failed. You had to pick up yourself, learn how to walk, and everything else like that. So, in essence, how did you learn anything? You failed. Okay, so if you go into, for example, him and you're stating, hey, well, I feel like a parent, or you think you have to be that way because that is the implication someone gives is not always the implication. Hence, going to that thought doesn't help a situation. It won't help any situation because they have a parent. No more different than you. He's not your daddy. You're not his mommy. Those should never be implied. Of any kind, at any time.
Agreed.
Okay? The notion you should have is, well, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I don't. But you do what? You're going to let it happen. Why? Because if you fail, you come a bitch, and particularly at you or anyone else whose fault is it? It can't be yours. Why? It's not your kid. You have no real bearing on that child other than what? Nothing.
My own
Nothing.
boundaries.
Nothing. No, actually nothing. Because even your boundaries do not apply. The reason why your boundaries don't apply is because of the same sentiment they don't apply with David. That's what, a lot of people fail to understand, especially when they have, kids out of, relationships or get into one or anything else like that. Had the same problem with a lot of my mom's ex-boyfriends. Come in, try to control the situation, the next thing they know, they get slammed up against the wall and almost a knife through their throat. You ain't my daddy. I have one. That motherfucker's a son of a bitch, and you seem to be one too. It's as simple as that.
Oh.
So the whole thing is you just don't think that way and you just don't do it. Whatever happens, he's going to have to fail from it. He's going to have to learn that this is not correct, and either he corrects himself or he doesn't. There's nothing you can do to correct that. It's just, it's over time. and you either fail or you don't, or you recognize
So
it or you don't.
so when he gets so tied up in a video game that he forgets to feed
Let
his
it happen.
child, I just
Let it
let it happen.
happen.
Then let the boy go home to Michelle,
Yep.
tell her that
Yep. You damn
his
right.
dad didn't feed him
You
dinner.
damn right.
And
You damn right. And then if he comes to you and be like, well, how come? Well, it seems like every time I seem to be reminding you of something, or I seem to at least try to imply this, you seem to get an attitude. Why? I am not entirely sure. Maybe it's from your ex-wife, maybe one of your ex-girlfriends. I don't know. Maybe it's from your mom. Maybe it's from stresses of just, maybe you feel like you're being told to do something when he's not being
I don't
told. No, he's not
I
being
don't feel
told.
like he's
No,
getting
no,
an
no.
attitude with me. I feel like he's getting more dependent on me to do it.
But you're getting the attitude from the dependency. Because that's how you feel, isn't it? Well, he shouldn't have. Well, you shouldn't have to be dependent on anything. He should. Hence, he has no, dude. It is not my job to remind you. It is not my job to tell you. It is not. You're a grown adult.
Well, no, I agree with you.
One, it'll cut off a lot of your frustration. Two, it won't make you antagonistic even inside your head. Three, it will not bring up any other problems other than his own. And he can't throw it back at you in any way. Why? Because you're not doing what?
I'm not playing his mother.
You're not playing his game.
Well, not too.
So, it's not really playing his game. You are not doing what you think is necessary for whatever purpose you think it is. That is the main contrary goal. Is you cannot, like the counselor told my mom, you cannot sit there and think your kids are going to act a certain way when you didn't either. With your mother. So what makes you think your kids would act the same way? If you were rebellious, what makes you think your kids aren't? If you were obedient and you try to teach that, what makes you think they're going to be obedient? Nothing says that they're going to do any of those things. It's what they think and how they view it. It's no more different than you. He's not telling you to do those things, but it's how you think and how you view. So if you don't imply that anywhere in there, then he can't use it.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Well, hopefully he does what he needs to do before I get there.
That's the point.
I'm not gonna.
That is the point. Hopefully he does what he's supposed to do when he gets there. Other than that, if he doesn't, you can be like, look, dude, are you ready to go? No? Okay, well, look, man, I plan on heading out because we're supposed to be there because we said we were, so you can either take a shower, get in there, or you can throw on some cologne or do whatever you need to do as a dude to get ready. Whatever it is, we have to be there by 7. Get what I mean? There's no real implication. It's just you explaining the situation. You're not telling him what to do. You're like any other person. You're just being like, look, dude, we made this thing for 7 o'clock. We both did. Not trying to be mean, not trying to be rude, not trying to boss you around. I'm not telling you to take your shower. I'm not even telling you to take out the dog. I'm telling you, I'm asking you, are you ready to go? Because it is almost 7. That's it. Hints. He has nothing to go on, neither do you. Right?
Yep.
That's the whole thing. He can't, somewhere different than in your house, or something happens with your kids. You're going to put that narrative away because your instinct is to take care of your kids, which is fine. I'm not complaining about that. On the other hand, the way he was raised seems to be the quite opposite. Whose fault is that? But whose fault is that?
Yes and no. I mean, my kids are to the point now that they take care of themselves.
No. And I get that, but your still instinctive reaction, hence I've heard you with your kids home, your instinctive reaction is to deal with their problem. Regardless of what it is, you still answer them. You still, answer them.
I'll give them advice and guidance.
No, it's not advice and guidance. Advice and guidance is being a counselor. Technically, it's not even being a counselor. It's a motivative speaker.
Okay.
Because that is technically what you're trying to do, is motivate them to do whatever it is they talk to you about, regardless of what it is. Or you try to make the best aspect happen, yes?